The Prime Minister has acknowledged that imposing a national two-week lockdown is not the news Bahamians want to hear, but it is indeed necessary as COVID-19 cases continue to rise nationwide. The reality, though, is that the impact is far-reaching. There's an adverse effect on mental health, but more specifically, the economy. Makush Lapinder takes a closer look.
4 cases in, the government sought to mitigate the local spread of COVID-19 cases and impose a 24-hour curfew. Satisfied with the strides made, the restriction was lifted. Hundreds of cases and numerous deaths later, Bahamians, both frustrated and angry, are today under a lockdown. And as it stands, that's expected to last at a minimum until next Wednesday. What this translates into, though, is a huge economic cost all around, given the money pumped into an economic replacement program, unemployment benefits, assistance to the healthcare sector, the huge loss to government revenue, and its corresponding spike in expenditure.
All things being equal, if that happens, then we are on pace to meet our anticipated projections into the new year. Our revenues overall are down about 50% against what we would have ordinarily have expected based upon past experience. It is tracking, however, according to our revised projection. Our expenditure is similarly tracking more or less where we had anticipated they would be.
And according to the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable K. Peter Turnquest, here's where that leaves the Bahamas fiscally.
So overall, we are more or less where we anticipated that we would be, not where we want to be by any stretch of the imagination, but where we kind of anticipated we would be.
Turnquest noting, though, that while the measures give way to a degree of uncertainty about the viability and sustainability of many private businesses, the government is equally concerned. Still, there are those who contend that the Bahamas cannot survive on haphazard starts and stops. The DPM dismissed this as just unfortunate idle talk.
And so we made the decision, the informed decision, to reopen the economy. At the time, no one could have anticipated that Bahamians, in particular, would have flocked overseas as they did. 4,296, I believe, Bahamians traveled in less than 2 weeks. And unfortunately, through no fault of their own, some of them would have been infected and come back and infected locals with a degree of community spread that spiked cases again and threatened to overwhelm the healthcare system once again. Any responsible government would have had to have done what we did to ensure that we do what we can to protect life.
Reporting for The Morning Edition, I'm Makush Lapinder.